what are some of the names? We don't recommend any investments here. And of course, when we're talking about VCs, it's a different route in. It's not a retail investment kind of solution. But are there particular companies that are emerging or particular solutions that are most enthusiastically embraced?
I will say that there's a name that I'm seeing frequently mentioned in the headlines right now, Polygon. Polygon seems to have a really winning combination of technology and team. And we're seeing them not only getting some pretty impressive contracts, but providing some really new functionality that is getting
what do they do?
Early adopters. So they're helping companies build with blockchain. They're one of these companies that are sort of integrating some of the functionality that is common amongst all institutions into the software layer itself. And they're kind of shortening the time to create new applications by integrating it into the blockchain itself. So this is what I'm talking about, where the layer 2 stuff is frequently just the next step towards actual tools. The applications themselves are being built on top of these layer 2 solutions. So you're seeing institutions, both old institutions from the pre-blockchain world and newer institutions that are crypto native, as we've been saying, that are building tools directly on Polygon.
So let me distinguish between crypto and blockchain. I mean, because what you're talking about to me immediately sounds like a blockchain solution that may have nothing to do with crypto. Forgive my ignorance on that, but is there a way you would distinguish it, or do you see this all still being in the crypto space because ultimately it flows back to that?
So it's very difficult, and some people would say impossible to separate the two.
Okay.
I think that one handy way to think about that. So the internet itself, though it does not by definition need any big companies to power it. In fact, it survived just fine for decades before Amazon Web Services, before Microsoft Azure, before all these big companies got in with their powerful computers. But there's a lot of money to be made by bringing that functionality underneath these giant institutional umbrellas. There is a possible future where those services are performed on laptops instead of in cloud servers, where the simple act of turning your computer on is a tiny act of supporting the internet itself. But there's a lot of resource demand that Amazon, Microsoft, and others have put into creating these services. And there's a lot of reward that they're getting for doing that. And so the question then becomes, if you're going to have an internet without Amazon, Microsoft, and all these giant tech companies powering its backbone, what is the incentive for you to download that software into your computer and become a part of that process? Frequently, the answer to that question is cryptocurrency. So these computers, similar to how Bitcoin exists because computers that audit the software are rewarded with cryptocurrency, this internet infrastructure without big companies would exist because of a reward that it is paying to people.
So it's another